And here we are back in Clearwater, and things seem to be going okay here at the moment. I have 27,000 people, but I'll show you in a moment. You can see in the distance there's an awful lot of cranes because I've upgraded some of the roads here, and so I'm expecting the population to jump. Otherwise, I've been playing this for a few minutes, and money wise my hotels and gambling institutions seem to be doing quite well. I know I'm losing money at the moment, but things, well, it does seem a bit quiet now. Maybe that's because it's 6 o'clock in the morning. But overall I seem to be doing good. I've got my 3 ferries here. I have maxed out this casino. I put another casino in here. I've got this very nice, what's it called? It's called the Edificio Chopin or something or other. It's a lovely shopping building, shopping mall on the front. And here my last payout was okay, so I'm going to do another one. Otherwise, I've added a few more areas. As you can see here, this is all new. And you can see that nearly everything behind here has upgraded to a full density buildings. So this, well, it's jumped by about 20,000 in the last few minutes. What is that? Helicopter. I've added in some buildings here. I've added in a school here. I've added in a primary school here. No, grade school. This is a primary school. And I've still got my university. And on this side, I took away a lot of residential, and I installed more industrial. I don't really want to upgrade all the roads because I quite like when you have a difference in types of buildings. So you can go down here and you've got well, to be honest, I would prefer the medium wealth residential instead of these things. These are very they're like mobile homes. Maybe I can put a park or something in here actually. Let's have a look at the, yeah, they're just behind all of these things, the water and the sewage plant. So there's nothing here. Maybe I can, I'd like to put this in without knocking out lots of houses. Oops. That's not really what I meant to. I don't want to make the whole area high wealth. That'll do. This is okay here, I think, because there's not many things here that are going to go high wealth. You can see there's not that many things that are going to upgrade here, which is okay with me. So in this nice little area here now, some of these should become just this very kind of medium wealth, very low density buildings, which are quite nice to look at. It's gonna speed things up a little bit. There you go, look at that. I really like these types of buildings. They're, oops, I think they're very aesthetic. And behind you've got the cranes, you've got the industry. Hopefully this industry will not stay dirty industry, but will very quickly develop into a higher form of electronics or something, because the wind is actually blowing toward all these houses. That's I really like that little house. And in the background there is Norwich Hills. So you can see everything is, ooh, there's the crane. Everything's starting to build up, and if things keep going the way they have been over the last 35 minutes or so, then I think this town has got a good chance to kind of stay in a profit situation, which would mean that I would be able to upgrade the services every now and again, maybe put some more education facilities, or put some upgrade the education facilities I've got, or I could put in some more police, and even perhaps some more hotels, and that's all I would want to do, really. Let's see what I can put in here. This is the mayor's mansion. Let's put the fountain somewhere. This is where I live. I always try to put this near the university because it's the same kind of style of architecture as the university buildings. And is that me? It could be me, or perhaps it's just some visitors. But that's pretty cool. Came from Mayor's Mansion. No, I said workshop, not sweatshop. I don't understand what that means. He's got people cleaning his grass. Sweeping this spot again. I've got a fire going on inside. That's very nice. So I quite like the look of this place now. All these areas here, they're not going to develop much more, and I'm quite happy with that. I've got an awful lot of big buildings coming up here. I think that's going to be enough. I've got some room here to perhaps install 1 or 2 more casinos. I could use this space if I needed for more casinos. And at the moment I'm doing quite well. I'm making 38 grand. Which I guess means that most of the casinos here must be doing pretty well. There you go. That's making 86. That's making not as much. that's making money. Well, they're all making something. Quite a lot of high wealth people, but there's actually quite a good combination here. There's quite a lot of high wealth, low wealth, medium wealth. And that's pretty good. I did put in some more roads. The roads here are really a problem. So I've got a nice big road here that doesn't seem to be, nobody seems to be using it. What you can do to help with the transport, of course, is you can put more bus stations in, and I may do that at some point. I may because I've just got this one bus terminal, so maybe by putting another one in it would help the traffic situation. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it will or not. I've lost the building here. And there you see the money. You wouldn't think it would be dropping at 11:15 at night, but anyway. My education of crime, well, for the last couple of days it would seem that I've had the same figure here: 7 crimes a day and 4 criminals at large. That's not too bad, because the criminals per day, that can kind of get sorted out, I hope. It's the figure here, criminals at large, I think is the important one. Education wise, well, these must be yesterday's figures. I've gotten 3,000 now, 3,500. That's not too bad. There you go. That's, I guess because it's gone past midnight, this figure has dropped to 2 crimes a day now and 5 criminals at large, and that's pretty good, I think, with a population of 61,000 and a lot of tourists. Can't really complain about that figure. Health is not too bad. Fires are okay. Everything else is okay. So for what it's worth, I think that's going pretty well as a town. It does seem to kind of have stabilized in terms of the money I'm making, because although it's up and down, the tourism, it seems to be more in the positive territory than in the loss territory. And the overall revenue now, I've got 1,230,000. So it seems to be a lot steadier than it was before. And I feel now that if it's just a case of when you get to this point in a town, it's a case of you just have to watch for the basic problems, like rubbish collection, or maybe a problem with the water supply, or a problem with the sewage plant, things like that. And if you can, and electricity as well, probably need to keep an eye on the electricity. But those things are pretty easy to fix, and I found that sometimes, not all the time, but when you get to this point, the town can pretty much run by itself, and you're not going to be struggling with bankruptcy every other hour. So what I will do with this town is that I let it run for a while and see if it is going to sustain itself. I think it will, in which case I've kind of achieved my objective here of making this town independent from Norwich Hills, and leave it in such a way that it is able to make enough profit to pay for everything on its own through its tourism. So now I'm losing 3,000 almost, but that's not too bad if it doesn't stay like that for too long. Because when I'm making money, I'm making a lot more than 3,000. I'm making 20, 30,000. And this figure is pretty good. Over in the distance is the other tourist town, the Trinity Point. You can see the boats, they seem to be going from one place to the other and bringing, I guess, bringing tourists from one spot to the other. It's good that this town started to work at last on its own, because the town up on the hill there, Norwich, is running out of resources, and so it wasn't going to be able to bail out these other towns for very much longer. That's the one good thing about mega towers, they really do stand out from a huge distance. Mega towers, actually, a mega tower on the sea line here would be quite nice. That's all the space I've got, so perhaps a mega tower here or here somewhere would be nice. But I'm going to leave this episode here because I don't really want to do much more with this town. I think I've done enough for it to work on its own. I'm going to have a look at things off camera for a while and decide whether or not to invest in some mega towers. I haven't, except for the one in Norwich Hills, I haven't really had much to do with mega towers for a long time, and maybe they would look nice. Maybe it would look nice to have a mega tower in each of these towns, because I'm quite impressed with that one, the way it looks, and I can imagine having another one over in Trinity Point, another one at the back there perhaps, and maybe one or two here. That might be interesting. But for now I shall leave it here and say adios.